Hello everyone and welcome to the map Alcyone. Joining me here for today's professional highlight best of 3 series of StarCraft 2. The blue Protoss, the blue probes in the upper right corner here. It is NightMare. And their Protoss opponent, the red probes here, the bottom left, a returning champion. It is Trap. Yes, a name I haven't seen in quite a while, actually. Making perhaps a little bit of a debut, returning to the scene. One of the Protoss famed champions from that circuit. Of course, we shall see. PvP, of course. I know, you're gonna come after me. You keep me in the comments, alright? He chose a PvP, really? Hey, alright. I saw this name, I saw PvP. My first thought was chaos. My first thought was madness. If you're a PvP lover, you're familiar with the matchup, you know. Yeah, that's the best way I can put it. Okay, the probes, they're gonna make their way here. Trap, perhaps looking to do a little bit of problematic harassment. NightMare actually taking a bit of damage. Trap is out for blood today, it would seem. These probes not having any of the shenanigans. How are the builds looking so far? Trap is going with what I would say is the more normal 2-gate core, and we see NightMare opting for the 1-gate, single gate into core, so a little bit of a deviation. The difference, of course, you know, as you avid intellectuals are well aware at this point, is the gate. The Nexus is going to be able to put down a fair bit quicker. The safety is the big question, because Trap, with that second gate, is going to be able to get twice as many gateway units. And this probe really should be a little bit careful. Oh my god, NightMare going for a Stargate too. Really cutting the gateway level. Interesting. Intriguing choices. You better at least get a battery. Okay, if you're gonna play this greedy. Yeah. Yep. That sounds about right. Okay. So Trap, seeing all of this, of course, Trap knows. You know, there's only one gateway. I haven't seen any other semblance of army units, any real defense here. So why not throw down that third gate, try to make something happen? NightMare not scouting it whatsoever. Stalker's going to make themselves known here, start to make their way up the ramp. Oh god, warp gate's not even halfway done. I don't even think... Okay, there's one more gate that just got started, and Oracle is the choice from the Stargate, which is going to be, I think, less than ideal. The battery choice to lock the Stalkers in isn't even going to work. Oh my god, Trap. Picking off the probe. Stalker going to fall from NightMare too. Another one does pop out, but Warp Gate cannot get here quick enough. Some reinforcements coming in from Trap. I think that third gate just finished too. Might see, yeah, another warp in. That is a speed gateway. Stalkers in the main base do fall, but these reinforcements from Trap, he's got him 8-1. There's no way this is working out for NightMare. Yeah, okay then. PvP in a nutshell. Map number 1 goes to Trap. For map number 2, we find ourselves moving to Site Delta. Here in the upper left corner will be the red Protoss Trap, which means, of course, the opponent in the bottom right here. Hopefully not falling to something very similar. It is NightMare. Oh boy, please don't tell me they're all going to be 4 minutes long. I don't think I can't even eat in less than 4 minutes. Okay, that's not good. That's not very entertaining. All right, we'll hold out some hope here. Map does have a natural ramp, which is a key difference. I have been told by Protoss that are way better than me. which is not hard to do, I will say, but nonetheless, that natural ramp is a big factor in the defendability, okay? How well you can stay alive, not let things into your base. Alcyone with no natural ramp, it's going to be a bit chaotic. It's going to be tough to keep things out of your base, where they don't belong, of course. I see an extra pylon. Right? Yeah, extra pylon from NightMare. So far, that's the deviation, though. Looks like they're both going similar. Trap slaps down the core. They're both going 1 gate core. Okay. No change there. NightMare starting up the Zealot. This is a fake Zealot, though. This isn't a real Zealot. This is the I'm making a Zealot in case you're doing something sneaky and rude, and I'll let it finish if you are, but if not, I'm just going to cancel it. Because I don't actually want a Zealot. You don't really want to have to make a Zealot, I think. Please don't let it finish. Are you really? Oh my gosh, he lets it finish. Okay, they're both going to do it. We're getting a Zealot, because these probes out here causing problems. If we both agree to just get a Zealot, I guess it's fine, but I'm a little surprised they both opting to do that, honestly. Alright, Stargate is the tech choice from them both here. Neither one of them going to do anything absurd, anything sneaky just yet. NightMare does get that Nexus down a bit quicker. Trap, okay, Trap is going to be able to get the Nexus down as well. Stargate made at the front. Adept pops out. The Zealot now relieved from his very frustrating duty of chasing the probe. Futilely, might I add. I don't think NightMare, no. NightMare not going for the Adept. Instead opting... Oh boy. They're both going Phoenix. It's gonna be a Phoenix Wars PvP, guys. Who will do it better? Who can out-Phoenix the Phoenix? Probably, you know, the other Phoenix, if I had to guess. But he's in a Dragoon, so it doesn't quite count. Alright. Quality. Quality content. They both going Phoenix. They both realize it now. Although Trap knew about it a little bit earlier because of the Phoenix picking that one up here. Trap with the second Phoenix going to reinforce. I'm sorry, NightMare. Yeah, where's the second one? Picking up the Adept in the main base here. Trap's just going to fly right on in like he owns the place. Throw away one Phoenix to get one Phoenix, which is, you know, an even trade as far as numbers go. Are they still continuing? Trap is continuing. Trap is still making Phoenix. Phoenix Eye. Phoenix. He's even getting a second Stargate. Alright. Prepare yourselves. Grab a beverage, maybe. This one might go a bit long. Unless NightMare is not going to make a bunch of Phoenix. That is a possibility. The Stargate is idle, halting at 2. Are you trying to fake? Trying to fake out Trap, maybe? Trick Trap into making a lot of Phoenix because Trap thinks it's going to be the Phoenix War. And for those unaware, of course, when you go Phoenix War, the Phoenix count, very important. You don't want to have your opponent have more Phoenix than you do because, I mean, simple sandbox elementary school rules. Nobody's allowed to have more Phoenix than you. Alright, you have to go beat them up and take their Phoenix. How many times can I say Phoenix in this match? Trap's gonna move into the natural here. It looks like NightMare gonna try to do a little bit of kiting. In other words, just advancing in the other direction. Retreat to the main nexus, praying that the mothership core time travels and shows herself to save him from this madness. Oh god, Trap. The Stalker's doing pretty decently, actually. We're gonna trade off one Phoenix. Gets another Stalker. Might be able to... Nope. Additional Warpin gonna halt that. The ground force is dealt with pretty easily. And NightMare still got one Phoenix. 1 to 7. Which is not very good for the blue at this point in time. We'll follow Traps around. There. There's another one's gonna join the crew. Stalkers. Blink does finish up. Does NightMare reveal it? I don't think yet. Not quite yet. Ah, now here's a thought. Yeah, still having one Phoenix alive will actually allow for the blink up into the main base, if that's what NightMare wants to do. Now Trap moves in, picks off a few probes, has got to be thinking, where are the Stalkers? Why didn't the Stalkers come to defend? That would be because the Stalkers are going with offense as their defense strategy. The blue Phoenix here should be able to provide high ground vision. Yeah. Reinforcements warping in, though. The warp gate's pretty far, I will say. Alright, everybody. Hold hands. Buddy system. Blink up into the main base. Picking off the Oracle. Sniped right out of the sky. The pylon, the first target, it seems the Phoenix show themselves, start to pick off the Stalkers, making sure to only do one at a time, it looks like, to actually try to kill them, but that's not going to work out very well for the Phoenix. They're outmanned, outgunned. 14 Stalkers. The pylon is the next target, shutting down these gateways. 3 gates unpowered. Oh my gosh, Trap only got one more gate. Blinking around, Immortal is the target. Overcharged, not going to be able to save it. The Phoenix trying to pick up the Stalkers just to take them out of the battle, it would seem. Also not going to work out very well in their favor. The few of them just walk up the ramp. NightMare. NightMare, you do not own this place just yet. The Stalker count rising, though, 17-3 here. Trap's defense is doing not too great. The Phoenix try to help out, but the Immortal's going to be picked off again, which is going to set the Immortal count to a dreadful 0. But NightMare's gains 1 count to 1, which means 1-1. Grand finale time. The grand finale shall be played on the map Amphion. The blue Protoss fighting back, doing a bit of strong work with some blink Stalkers in a place they might not belong. It is NightMare. And here in the bottom left corner, the returning champion, I call it, falling to a bit of Stalker-shaped shenanigans. Can they pull it back together? It is Trap. Double gas. You madman, what are you trying to corner the market here? NightMare doesn't have any. Sheesh. Alright. Probe's gonna move in. Spot this. NightMare going for the quicker Nexus, I will say. Able to get that down and then block traps. Not that Trap is anywhere near having 400 minerals yet. Trap's gonna slap down the core, which I really do like the decision. Getting the core started here. Yeah, okay, NightMare does get it. A little bit after the Nexus, going to be a bit delayed. The real price is, less Stalkers, potentially for this early part of the game. Warp Gate will be slightly delayed, whatever that is going to be. It depends. Chrono Boost is another factor we have not considered in that equation. Probably won't be able to consider it entirely. Still no Nexus here. Trap. This is starting to be a bit of a problem, I will say. And speaking of problems, yes, NightMare doing quite well at delaying this. Seriously though, Trap, no Nexus. NightMare's is about to complete. Okay. This is getting a bit out of hand. Now, oh my gosh, the pylon block too, really? The probe is destroyed. The pylon, I say you just let it finish. What in the Zerg player decision is this? Very nice. NightMare does not even let it finish. You want to cancel that. Stalker versus Adept here. Zealot trying to help out. That Adept having that plus damage versus Light, though, going to give a bit of an advantage here. The micro. 2 Stalkers are better than 1 NightMare. Will be able to hold the defense at this point now. Trap. Trap having to take the third base as the second base, though. That's going to, it's a bit odd, I will say. You're just saving the minerals, okay? You're making sure that if the game goes late, you can actually take your third base as your natural, which is much safer. I think we can all agree. I would much rather be mining my natural in the late game than something else. It's kind of the whole premise why we go with the bingo bases, don't we? the bingo base setup so that we don't have to worry about that expansion too close to us. The Oracle will be shot at slightly, a little bruised here. Not going for any kills really, just a bit of scouting, a bit of intel. Has NightMare made? No. NightMare actually has not made the tech choice yet. Instead, opting for just more stalkers, really. Intriguing choice. Okay, there it is. Twilight. Twilight Council is the choice. Probably Blink, if I had to guess. That's probably the hope. Now, Trap Stargate, also making Void Rays. Sorry, was that just one Oracle? Yeah, it's just the one Oracle. Opting in for Void Rays. To support the Stalkers, perhaps? Things we actually have a slow opener here. Everybody had like a gentleman's agreement here. Nobody's really going for any damage. I'm a little surprised. Units lost. I mean, what even is that? You have to remember, NightMare canceled the pylon. They both only really sacrificed the Zealot. Trap's making a bit of a move out here with that second Void Ray. No more Voids in production either. Not really any units, any army units in production at least. Void Rays will show themselves. Could go for this pylon. Instead going to try to focus down some of the Stalkers maybe before the count gets too high. But NightMare has not been idle in the Stalker production. Moving out of the base here. Gonna focus down the Voids. Will get them both. The Stalkers tried to chase the Stalkers, but realizing they have the exact same movement speed is not going to be very helpful in that chase. The Oracle, through all of this, does find one kill and one death, I will say. Not too great. Not too great of a trade there, but hey, you know, you forced out some Stalkers. You figured out your opponent is actually just making a bunch of Stalkers at this point. No Blink. I suppose that's helpful too. The Stargate, no longer the choice. Trap, no longer interested. My 2 Void Ray Stargate attack did not work. He didn't just leave the game immediately. What is this? I guess I'll need to switch into Robotech. Get some Immortals. Perhaps try to shut down the impending Blink attack from NightMare. Well, I like the Adepts. I like the choice. I would just pocket them though. Just keep them over here. The next time you notice NightMare attacking, just shade them in. And don't even worry about it. Just shade them to like right here and let them do their thing. NightMare's going to move across. There's no Prism support though. This is just kind of a bludgeon move with 10 Blink Stalkers. Going to spot these 2 Immortals. And I would wager... Okay, there is an Observer. So, could blink around actually. Could do a blink train up into the main base here. The Adepts do make their move. They shade into the natural, it would seem, but their Stalker's already here for the defense. So the Probe's not going to do too well. NightMare picking off that pylon will reveal his intentions, have this attack done. The Immortals desperately trying to scuttle their way up the ramp. They are going to get here though. Probably won't pin the Stalkers though, that blink. Slippery, just lathered them up in butter. Called it good. Gonna pick off this pylon that's powering everything. Oh my gosh, the Probes. Really a little violent for the Probes, I think. Batteries picked up. He's going. You gonna go for the other pylon, really? Oh, losing a Stalker for that. To get one gateway unpowered for a little bit here. Prism gonna help out with a little bit of adept harassment, actually. Behind this, we're seeing NightMare add on more gates. Really going for the gateway heavy composition. Did get the Robo starting Immortal production, but Trap does have a slight advantage on that. Oh, the Adepts. The recall initiated. Stalkers will be brought home. Should be able to blink right on top of the Adepts. They canceled their shade. Could go for the Prism. Oh, not going to be able to get that Prism. Trap, with the good Prism control, will be fine. Will be safe at this point. The Immortal. He's cataloging. Okay, he's looking at the flowers. He's the botanist. He's the botanist of the crew. Okay. Collecting samples for research, making sure nothing has any solarite in it for Carax, of course, because we've Do not come between a Karax and his Solarite, okay? We've seen that. That's the wrong way to go. There's not a lot of wrong ways to go out in this world, but that would be one of them, okay? Forge, Templar Archives for them both. I'm hoping it's not Storm. I'm hoping it's just a bunch of Archons. Can we just get a lot of Archons in this? Immortal count, halting at 3, the magic number, apparently. 3 Immortals for them both. Prism, how's the Prism doing? Just more adept shenanigans. Antics, so we have to make it match. Alliterative, adept, antics, I will call it. Stalker shenanigans, adept, antics. Throw out your favorite one in the comments below. If you have an alliteration as such, let me hear it. Zergling Zoo, it doesn't really work. Not that same theme, of course. Marine Madness, let me know. I love wordplay. Huge fan of wordplay. Alright, back to the match, though. First of the Archons are making themselves known. NightMare? Okay, I was just thinking, why no Prism? Like, Trap has been trying to stay active with the Adept, with the Prism. I wouldn't say it's worked out incredibly well. I mean, the 14 workers guild, of course, nothing to balk at, but the worker count's even. So it's like NightMare has been able to kind of just focus on the army production for a bit. Their army supply's even. The difference is these upgrades, though. NightMare's got +1 done, +2 on the way. I would be chronoing the heck out of that. And it looks like NightMare's got the same thought. They're both going to move out of their bases now, start to posture. With our Archon count of 2. We need more. I demand more Archons here. Stalker's going to move down the ramp, perhaps a little greedy, a little overzealous. One of them actually going to be picked off pretty easily. Trap going to try to take out the rocks, make things a bit easier to get up the ramp here. The Zealots shuffling around, not quite sure what to do with themselves. This Observer's in a great spot, might I say. Those batteries? Yeah, batteries. NightMare. Ready for the defense. Gonna try to hold out here. There's a single Zealot that's also going to check out the local flora, vegetation, horticulture, guys, am I right? The true passion, the true calling. Another Archon gonna be made. NightMare winning the Archon battle, I'll say. Gonna have 6 here. Might be able to make something work with that. Now what's Trap looking like? Trap's going for the Robo-Bay, okay. Moving up in that tech to go for disruptors. It's a little bit of an investment. Trap is doing some investing in the future here. The army supply? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of Zealots for Trap, but there's a lot of Archons for NightMare. The engagement's going to go down. The Archons evaporating the Zealots. Trap does pick off NightMare's Prism. Stalker's blinking around, but the ground forces are just evaporating here. The Immortals doing their best to hold the line, but that line is broken. The force fields will be crushed like an easy meal at Thanksgiving time, guys. That Immortals picked off, and a GG will be thrown out. NightMare is going to take the series. 2-1 with a lot of Archons at the end. I couldn't ask for a better ending than that. If you enjoyed, be sure to let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.